Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, where I try and showcase the fun that can be had with the logic in variant Sudoku. And today I'm going to be doing that with a variant I've really not seen before, though it's just a mix on some normal stuff. This is a puzzle called Numeri by Gerhard 1963, and this is an extension of the Roman numerals constraints we see, often XV pairs, with a new one called L pairs. So looking forward to this one, maybe. Arrows with pills, always a challenge. I've been trying to take a break on the channel recently, but there's been some stuff going on. I may have to pull some of my old videos. Some of my recent videos, in fact, we will see what happens with that one. We'll just see. If there's, I had some videos where I got some warnings from YouTube that people have posted that they were, even though the puzzles were created and actually dedicated to me and made for me, they were solved by another channel, and since they were solved by a different channel, there have been reports made against it that I've stolen the content, even though they were made for me. I don't know what to do about it, and the easiest way to deal with it may just be for me to take the videos that were made for me down. So there may be some videos that I may end up taking off the channel just to avoid the conflict. So if you see just videos disappearing from my back catalogue, I've already had to pull some videos from my back catalogue for this reason. It's just easier to avoid the fight. Sorry about this, everyone. I know people like having their puzzles featured, but sometimes I just have to take videos down. Let's have a look at Numeri by Gerhard 1963. So we have normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have arrows. Digits along an arrow must sum to the number indicated in the circle or pill from which the arrow emerges. So the sum of these goes into this pill, the sum of these goes into this circle. Multi-digit pills are read top to bottom or left to right. Now there's no top to bottom ones here, but they're read left to right. XV pairs, digits separated by a V sum to 5, digits in cells separated by a V sum to 5, digits in cells separated by an X sum to 10. Not all possible X's and V's are necessarily given, so it would be perfectly fine, and this is why it's the pairs rule. It's perfectly fine for these two digits to sum to 5 or these two to sum to 10 or whatever. You can see here, these sum to 5 and there's no V given. This could easily just be a V clue, but it's done for symmetry of cages, I'm assuming, and that's perfectly fine. There's no V here, it doesn't need to be, it's all good. L pairs, numbers in blue pills connected by an L sum to 50. Which are read left to right. So the sum of this pill plus this pill is 50, and the same true of these pills. I like that one. That's going to be interesting. Cages. Digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to the value shown in the upper left corner of the cage. Interesting puzzle. Going to have to see how this one goes. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So there's a couple of ways of starting this. I'm going to start with V because it's the most obvious. How do you get to 5? You can either add 1 to 4 or 2 to 3. It's the only way to do it. If I had a 5 on here, I'd also need a 0. So this is also 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know that the 1, 2, or 3, the 1, 4 or the 2, 3 in here is different to this one. Oh, these are 5s. What are the digits in this box? We know in a Sudoku box, and it's the same here, but for some reason I see some things I see on the right, some things on the left. I wonder if it's got to do with handedness. The sum of all of the digits in this box, so the sum of all of these digits in yellow, well, it's all of the digits in this box are the digits 1 to 9. So all of those digits are the digits 1 to 9. If you add all of the digits from 1 to 9, you get 45. So the sum of yellow is 45. Now, this digit is the only digit that is not included in these that is on these arrows. So these two arrows are those and that, and this arrow is those. So these arrows are the sum of those of these cells and these cells. But these sum to 45. But these sum to 50. But this is the sum of all of those, and this is the sum of all of those. So this has to make up the difference between those and those, and we know those sum to 50. So this is a 5. And the same thing is happening here. All of those sum to 45, those sum to 50, and those 4 cells are all of these. So this has to be a 5. Now these also, those have to sum to 4, don't they? Or 3? Don't these have to sum to 4? Because what's the maximum these could sum to? Doesn't this have to... How do I make that work? This has to sum to... These are 2 pills that sum to 50. But there are they're two two-digit numbers. Doesn't this have to be a teen digit and a 30-something? Because I can't do 2 20-somethings, because then these would both have to be 2s. And I can't do a 40-something and a 0-something. So if one of these wasn't a 1, so what happens if one of these isn't a 1? And if one of these wasn't a 1, the minimum would be 2 and 3, and I've already broken. If one of these wasn't a 1, then one of these is a 2, and it's 2 something plus 3 something. And the 2 something and the 3 something, considering I can't put a 0, I've already broken the total. So one of these is a 1 and one of these is a 1. But it's 1 something plus, if it was 1 something and 2 something, these would sum to 30, and I would need these digits because this is the tens digit. And if it was 1 and 2, I would need these 2 digits, which are the units digits, to sum to 20. But the maximum they can sum to is 17. And if it was 1 and 4, then these would already sum to 50. So these are 1 and 3. And the same has to be down here. This is a 1-3 pair. But I can't put a 1 in this 6 cage. So how do I do the 6 now? This has to be a 2-4 pair because I can't use 1-5. I can't use 3-3. This is a 2-4 pair. But with 1, there can't be a... If this is 1... Oh, wait a minute. If this was a 30, how do I get 30 in those? With this summing to a maximum of 5. Those, the minimum this could be would be 32. 32 minus 5, those digits would have to sum to 27. I can't do 27 in 3 digits. The maximum these could be would be 7, 8, 9, which is 24. The maximum this line can sum to, with this being summing to 5, is 29. This can't be the 3. This is the 1. This is the 3. And this line now needs to get up to 30 something. These digits, well, I'm already at 40, so those digits need to sum to 10. Well, they're not 1, 9. They could be 2, 8. They can't be 3, 7. They could be 4, 6. So if they're 2, 8, it's 8 and 2. And if it's 4, 6, it's 6 and 4, because I can't put the 2 or the 4 here. So this is either 16 or 18. And this sums to... Well, there's no 1, 4 here anymore. This is 2, 3. So this has to sum to either 6. Well, if this is 16, this would have to sum to 11. Can I put a 1 on this line? How do I do 12 might be a better question. I can't use 9, 3. I can't use 8, 4. So this is 7, 5. And these are not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6, 8, and 9. So 5 is in one of these because this digit can't go in here and it can't go in here. So there's 2 5s on this line. So there's 2 digits summing to 10. And then I need another 3 digits that sum to either 22 or 24. Well, I need a 9 for that, because if I don't include a 9, the maximum would be 876, which is only 21. So there has to be a 9 on this line. I can't put it down here. So there must be a 9 on this line. Now I've got 19, and I need 2 digits that sum to either, I may be doing this wrong. I can get rid of this colouring. This is me distracting myself. I need 2 digits. I'm at 19. I need 2 digits that sum to either 13 or 15. Couldn't use 9, 4. Couldn't use 8, 5. Could use 7, 6. 7 and 5, 6, 9. Three is down here, but this can't be a 3. If this was a 3, this would have to be a 3 to make the 6 cage work. This is a 3. I can't put a 1 on this line though, can I? Because if it was, these would be 20, maybe. And the other 2 digits would have to sum to 12 or 14. I couldn't do 12, but I might be able to do, I couldn't do 14, but I might be able to do 12. But this 3, does that restrict this? Or am I restricted here? Like this 5. Now this, it's the same thing here. This can't be a 3. Because if this is a 3, this arrow would need to sum to 30 something, but these sum to 5. So these would need to sum to at least 25. In fact, I couldn't do 30, so they need to sum to at least 27. And I can't make 3 digits sum to 27. This is the 1, this is the 3. The 5 now can't be 1, 4. This is 2, 3. That 1 means this isn't 1, so this isn't 4. But this isn't quite as restrictive, because this doesn't see this the same way that this saw this. But there's no 2, 3 in here. 5 is not in any of those. 5 is in one of those. Could this be 5, 8? Maybe. These again have to sum to 10. They're not 1, 9. If they're they can't be 2, 8 this time. They can't be 3, 7. These are 4 and 6. Because this time the 3 is fully enclosed in the 2 would have to go in one of them. This is 4, 6. So this is either 14 or 16. But that means that these are known. How does the 13 work? It's not 9, 4. Could be 8, 5. Can't be 7, 6. So this is 8, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 9. So 9 isn't on here now. And I can't put 9 here. In fact, 5 is on here with 9 again, because I can't put 9 here, because 9 and 5, even if I make this 9 and 5, which would be 14, and make this 16, these would need to sum to 2 without being a 1. The minimum here is 2, 3, and that just doesn't work. So 9 is on here. But this has a higher total than this does, than this one does. The minimum here is 34, and I'm at 19. I've got 2 digits to get at least 15 without a 9. This has to be 34. Because if it was 36 from the 19 I'm at, 36 minus 19 is 17. And I can't do 17 without a 9. The maximum digits I've got are 7 and 8, which is 15. And 19 plus, if I make this 5, 7, 8, 9, then these sum to 34, which is the minimum that could be. So these have to be 5, 7, 8, 9. That's kind of cool. That can't be the 9 or the 7. That's the 8, and this is 5, 7, 9. That's really clever. But that means these are 1, 6, 8, which means there's no 1, 4 here. This is 2, 3, which means this can't be 2, 3. So these are 2, 3, 6. And 2, 3, 6 is 16. Sorry, 2, 3, 6 is 11 plus 5 is 16. This is oh, wow, this is working. I shouldn't sound so surprised. This is a 2, 3, 6 triple, so the 6 has to be in one of those. That's a 2, 3. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is a 7, 9 pair. So this is known. 1, 2, 3, this is a 4, meaning that's a 2 and that's a 4. I could have got that from the 2, 3 pair. This is so clever. A 1 here would make this a 9. A 6 would make this a 4, which might be possible. I'll look into it. An 8 would make this a 2, which is not. This is not an 8. Can I make this 4? These would need to be 1, 1, and 2, and I can't do it. The minimum here is 2. And if the minimum here is 2, these would need to sum to 2. This is a 9 and a 1. So these sum to 9. That is a 6, 8 pair. There's no 9 here, so the 6, 8 pair makes that a 9. The 3 makes that the 2 and that the 3. So what is this now? It could be 1, 9. Can't be 2, 8, 3, 7. It could be 4, 6. So 1, 9 or 4, 6. Now this can't be a 1, so that can't be a 9. If this is a 4, this would have to be 1, 1, 2, and it can't be. Minimum here is 2, then these would have to sum to 2, and that doesn't work. This can't be a 4, so this can't be a 6. And the 4 is looking down, making that the 1 and that the 9. That locks all that in. The 9 makes that the 7 and that the 9. These both sum to 9. Doesn't really surprise me. But where's 9 in this box now? It's not in those or those, and the 5, 9 is looking down, making that the 9. That, again, doesn't surprise me. Can I do the same trick here? The 9 makes that the 7 and that the 9. Shouldn't be surprised by that. Let's look at these 3 digits. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But can this be a 7? These would need to sum to 2. It doesn't work. So I've got a 2, 4 pair making that a 7. And I've got a triple here as well. 2, 5, 7. But that can't be a 7. Those would need to sum to 2. And that can't be a 7. So this is the 7. And now the 7 in this box is in one of those 2. 3. That's 3 cells. Can't even count to 3. This 6 is no longer 1, 5. This is 2, 4. And the 2, 3 is looking down, making that the 4 and that the 2. This is 6 and 8. Okay. If this is a 5, these need to sum to 4, and they'd be 1 and 3. It's going to be the math here. 7 makes this 5 and this 7. So this is 6 or 8 for the column. It is going to be this column. I know what this triple is. 1, 4, 7. 147. So this sums to 5. So these digits either have to sum to 11 or 13. Well, if there was no 1 on this, the minimum that these would sum to is 11 plus 6, which is 17. And that doesn't work. There must be a 1 in here. There's no 1 here. So I've got 6. And then these two digits either have to sum to 10 or 12. If there was a 7 on here, the minimum would be 13. And that doesn't work. This is 1, 4. This is the 7. And these now sum to 10, and the 6 or the 8, those are the same digit. That just works. This is the 7. These, well, actually, that's going to give me this total, which is going to do it. That's really clever, I think. Because no, it's not, because this is 5, 6, 8, or 9. It's that digit. Yeah, okay, no, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I'm not clever enough to have done this yet. There is a 3 in one of those two. These are 3, 6, 8. There's a 1 up here. There's a 1 and a 5 up here, but I'm not sure how to do that either. It's got to be these 9 arrows then. If this is a 4, these sum to 5. And they can't. If this is a 4, this would have to sum to 5 to get to the 9 total. But the only way to do 5 is 1, 4 or 2, 3. And neither of those can be done because 1, 4 would leave no fill there and 2, 3 would leave no fill there. That's a 2. That's a 4. 34 means that this has to be a 16 to get the 50 sum working. These sum to 10. Therefore, that's the 6, which means that's the 8. That's the 6. The 8 makes that the 5 and that the 8. That's really clever. There may have been another way of doing it, but I really like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 8, 9. So 5, 8, 9. So 7, 8, 9. This, 7, 8, 9 is 24 plus the 2 5s is 34. That works. Really, really good. The 6 makes that the 8, taking the 8 out of those. This is the 3, 6. These now have to sum to 7. 1, 6 might be possible. 2, 5 is not possible because I've got a 2, 3 pair, and 3, 4 is not possible for the same reason. This has to be, 1, 6, because I can't use 2, 5 or 3, 4. This is 1, 6, which means that's the 4 and that's the 1, which means that's the 4 and that's the 1. Which means that this is restricted because if this is a 5, these have to sum to 4. And the only way to do 4 is 1, 3, and there's a 1 there. So this is also a 2. This is a 5. These now have to 7. These now have to 7. They have to sum to 7. I can't use 1, 6. 2, 5 would be 2 and 5. 3 and 4 would be 3 and 4. But I can possibly remove some digits. There's no 6 from there, so that's the 6. This is a 2, 3 pair. The 8 takes 8 out of there. Let's do some of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are 1, 7, and 8. Well, there's no set. No, they're not. I've broken the puzzle. I've got 2 5s in this row. How have I got 2 5s in this row? When did I do that? Ages ago. I think this was right. This was wrong. Because they're 2 and 8, and I could never have used 8. This is 2 and 8. And this is still 7. Yeah, this is better. So, but they're still 7. They're not 1, 6. they're either 2, 5, or 3, 4. And now I'm back in the same position where I was, except slightly better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are 1, 5, 7. There's no 7 there. Yeah, okay, this is better. I made a mistake with this pencil mark, but I seem to have fixed it. I don't know about those. Oh, these are 1, 6, because they can't be 2, 5 or 3, 4 because of the 2, 3 pair, meaning this is the 4 and this is the 1, meaning that is the 4 and that is the 1. And that also prevents this from being that. There's no 6 here. There's a 6 here. I'm just redoing what I'd lost. There's no 7 here. The 6 is making this the 8 and this the 6. So this is actually a triple. 1, 5, 8. There's no 8 here. Is this the only thing I haven't revealed or resolved yet? It looks like it, doesn't it? There's no 8 here. So this is 5, 7, or 9. So it's 5 or 7. Nine in this box. Can't be in any of those. Can't be in any of those. That's a 9 in the center of the grid. So 3 is in one of those two. And where's 2 in this row? I can't put 2 in any of those because there's a 2 looking at that. There's a 2 looking at that. There's a 2 looking at that. And there's a 2 looking at that. That's the 2. That's the 3. Making that the 2. Making that the 3. The 2 looks up making that the 3 and that the 2. Raise a glass to freedom. Okay. People insist I do it. Even though whenever I do anything related to that channel, I get video takedown notices. The 3 looks back making that the 5, which makes that the 7. The 5 makes that the 9, taking 9 out of there. The 9 takes 9 out of there. I get a 5 out pair making that a 9. The 7 makes that the 5 and that the 7. If I made another mistake here, yeah, no, the 5 makes that the 8 and that the 5. This has to be a 2 or a 4 for the row, and the 2 looks down, making that the 4 and that the 2. Could have used the arrow for that. Should have used the arrow. 2, 2, and 5 sums to 9. 4 looks down, making this the 6 and this the 4. The 6 looks up, making this the 1 and this the 6. The 1 looks up, taking 1 out of there. It also looks down, taking the 1 out of there. The 7, no, that's not it. The 1, 5 pair. The 6 looks up, making that the 3 and that the 6. The 5 takes 5 out of there and 5 out of there. The 7 looks down, making that the 1, which makes that the 5 and that the 7. This is a pair. 1, 2, 3, and 8. 3 makes that the 8 and that the 3. The 8 looks up, making that the 5, which makes that the 1 and that the 8. Cool and good. 802 solves in 102.8 days. Maybe this has been seen somewhere else on one of the smaller channels. That was really good little puzzle. I like this. Yeah, someone who's much stronger at the maths would be able to have immediately determined the 1-3 pairs here, but I love the way they channel through. Very, very good stuff. Thank you, Numeri, for the puzzle. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the content. As always, feel free to look for a way to support the channel, and please check out a lot of the other smaller Sudoku creators that are out there as well. There's a bunch of Sudoku channels out there that are doing a lot of really amazing work, and they're all worth your time. Thanks everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.